Yeah, so thanks everybody for coming again to our second podcast. I've taken the time to invite Marc Spreesler back. Marc, thanks for spending some more time with us.
Thanks for having me. Hello, everybody.
And one of the questions that we got after our last podcast was, so what's really the big deal? What are the differences of the UCS 200N.2 series? Marc, can you kind of, so what's the benefit? What does the user get? We talked about last time that we'll be offering upgrades. What's the real benefit of the newer models?
Yeah, sure. So there are two main improvements that we have implemented based on the work we did for the extended generator verification. So one thing is, as an example, for a pulse 2A, that is a positive pulse, we limited the undershoot after the pulse is applied. And the thing is, for a positive transient pulse, the battery is never switched off. So the DUT is continuously powered up with the supply voltage. And it's not expected that no matter for what reason, the DUT resets during these testings. And the thing is, it might be that the sensitive DUT might reset due to the slight undershoot after the pulse, even if it's just for maybe 5 or 10 microseconds.
So the DUT detects like an undervoltage condition at the low voltage side and decides, oh, now it's time to switch off. Huh?
Right. So for the DUT, it means, oh, I have lost my supply voltage, and it just switches off and reboots. And this is not a condition that is expected in the test plan. So the user of the test equipment and of the standard is in trouble to justify why this happened. So it's not because his DUT has an issue. It's really just because for a short period of time there was an unexpected undershoot that led to the reset of the DUT. So we have limited now this undershoot to 12 volts to 2 volts, for 12 volt applications, and to a max of 4 volts for 24 volt applications. And we have checked that with customers in the field who had this struggle, and they agreed that these tolerances are okay for them.
Okay. And it might make it into a future version of the standard, huh?
Yeah, right.
So we talked about last time. I think we said it was like a year and a half of development. So what did we really change?
So what we have changed, in addition to the behavior for the pulse 2A, is also the coupling method. So how do you superimpose a pulse onto the supply voltage? And this is in particular very valuable for negative transient pulses, like a pulse 1B or 1 bis. That is now, actually it's a pulse 1 that is performed with positive polarity. And if you're changing just the polarity, you might face some challenges how to do that. And by changing the coupling method inside the UCS, the pulse is now also really independent from the supply voltage. So we have no issues with 12 volt supply voltage levels, but these days we see a massive increase also to 48 volt supply voltage levels. And by changing the coupling methods, such a negative transient pulse is actually now very well superimposed onto the supply voltage, also when performed positive. Because negative, you switch off the battery voltage anyway, so there is no coupling onto the supply voltage. But if you do the same thing with positive polarity, of course, the pulse has to be superimposed onto the supply voltage.
That's right. And so conversely to pulse 1, where the DUT is expected to switch on properly after the pulse 2, the DUT is expected to withstand the entire pulse train, right?
Yeah, correct.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Interesting. So this I think is a short podcast, but we had some questions after the last one, and we thought we'd fill in the gaps. It's another big change at the end of a year and a half of development, and really it's something like 20 years of continual development for our transient generators. Oh, one last question. So this should mean that the EMPS and the TESIC generator should work, I don't know, identically or much closer to the same, or?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that was my last question. You got anything to add, Marc?
Nope, I think that's all for me for now.
Okay, then thanks a lot for your time, Marc, and thanks for everybody for watching. If you have any comments or requests for future podcasts, please leave a comment below, and see you guys soon.
Thanks for having me. Bye, everyone.